All right, we have news without the general's voice or the admiral's voice or the angry little man's voice, as the case may be, um, but still dramatically narrated. Military arrests Biden's deep state handler, Anita Dunn. And this is by Michael Baxter, the Michael Baxter team over at RealRawNews.com, November 23rd, 2021. And if you want, I'm only mentioning this because my mortgage is what is today is 22 days late, um, and my car payment is not yet late, but it looks like it. Anyway, you don't want to be an immigration lawyer when they lock the borders down for a year and a half. Sometimes business really slows down. Anyway, let's hop into the news. This is dramatically narrated. Um, whether or not it's whether or not it's done well, that's up for you guys to decide. I think there's a slowdown between the wait the that's not good. We have to stop that. Between I have too many programs running, so let me shut a couple of things down here. Um, what all can I shut down? Let's see. I can shut that down. Shut that down. Sorry for the delay. Apologize. I can shut that down. Um, that might help. All of this might help. See, I can close that. Hopefully, I can't close like everything though. I guess that's gonna be good enough. I think there's a drag or a slowdown somewhere in this process. All right, so into the news we go. On Saturday morning, U.S. Marines from Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, apprehended a deep secret handshake state asset whose name laymen may find unfamiliar, but who, from the shadows, has influenced the illegal Biden administration's domestic policy decisions on a grand scale. That person is Anita Dunn, a political strategist who served as Biden's chief advisor until her resignation on August 12th. Although Dunn declined to comment on her reasons, she abruptly quit her position after Fox News unearthed a quote attributed to her. At a 2009 speech to graduating high schoolers, Dunn said Chinese dictator Mao Zedong was one of her favorite political philosophers. Moreover, she refused to file public financial disclosures required of every other presidential appointee. But Dunn's departure was in name only. She felt she would wield greater authority and draw less scrutiny operating outside official channels. Sentiment shared by her peers, a consortium of vile villains the military aptly refers to as the Biden administration's brain trust. These fastidious fanatics, Dunn among them, have worked arduously to dismantle the U.S. military, defund domestic law enforcement, strengthen the Antifa and Black Lives Matter movements, drive inflation, bankrupt businesses, push inoculation and mask mandates, and embolden foreign adversaries like China. A judge advocate general, JAG, source, source speaking under promise of anonymity told Real Raw News that Dunn had met privately with deep secret handshake state Dr. Anthony capital F period 7 times since January. At a May meeting, Dunn, who has no medical credentials, whimsically suggested to Dr. Anthony capital F period that Americans ought to receive quarterly inoculations, and Dr. Anthony capital F period, who is an MD but who has not treated patients since 1997, replied, "Of course, it's a great idea. The more shots we get in arms, the better. I can't speak to how we obtained recordings of their conversations, but we have them. They had several meets discussing how best to enforce inoculation mandates, and at each meeting, they upped the number of shots they thought people should get every year. Dunn's family has strong ties to pharmaceutical lobbying industry, and Dr. Anthony Capital F has earned enormous profit from inoculation sales. It's important to remember that Dunn was groomed by Obama. We have her on tape saying that people that die from the inoculation are just collateral damage. Our source said Dunn also advocated lockdowns on behalf of the illegitimate administration. In early 2021, she made multiple trips to California, Michigan, and New York to lobby the state's respective governors to maintain draconian style lockdowns and bankrupt as many businesses as possible. So the owners would have no choice but to rely on federal assistance, a tenet of socialism. This woman was a major player in the deep secret handshake state's planned epidemic conspiracy. And even now, as though planned epidemic plans come crashing down around them, they're trying to double down and lock down this country like Australia and Germany. The evidence against Dunn is massive, and it compelled JAG and the OMC to seek her arrest. Our source said on Friday, November 19th, Rear Admiral David G. Wilson of JAG reached out to General David Berger, Commandant of the U.S. Marine Corps, with instructions to apprehend immediately and discreetly Anita Dunn at her Bethesda, Maryland home. It should be noted that Bethesda is a stronghold of deep secret handshake state activity, as if the deep secret handshake state hierarchy instructs its agents to congregate there for mutual protection. Yet they have been picked off one by one. General Berger acknowledged the instruction and ordered his subordinates to at once assemble a team to grab Dunn. Early Saturday morning, an unknown number of Marines from the 2nd Marine Raider Battalion descended on Dunn's home. They found Dunn asleep beside her husband, Bob Boyer, another Obama stooge, and subdued them with zip ties and duct tape before they could come to their senses and start a fuss. The Marines apprehended both out of necessity. They were put in an unmarked vehicle and taken for processing. Our source said, adding that Dunn will most certainly face a military tribunal. The fate of her husband is not known. So, love God and try to be good. I hope you succeed better than me.